Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over how to win a solo in Fortnite Season 8. I want to start this video off by showing you guys a tweet by SypherPK from about 2 weeks ago. I think this tweet does a really good job of summarizing how a lot of players feel about the general state of solos right now. He says, playing solos tonight felt like playing 30+ point pop-up cup games. 80% of the lobby was very mechanically skilled, insane plays and insane players the entire night. I definitely wasn't able to just casually play while talking to the chat. I had to focus and sweat to get wins. This phenomenon is something that usually happens towards the beginning of new seasons in Fortnite, mainly because players are going to be trying as hard as possible to get wins, gain XP, level up, get good stats, all of that good stuff. Plus, in general, most people feel like solo matches have the highest skill level of players in the entire game. It kind of makes sense, because if you're someone that doesn't really take the game seriously, you'll probably play in LTM or duo/squads to have fun with your friends. So like I usually do in my solo tip videos, I want to specifically go over how to be successful in the beginning, middle, and end of solo matches. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so since this is the beginning of the video, it only makes sense that we start with what to do at the beginning of a solo match. And when talking about the beginning of a solo, you practically gotta start by talking about landing spots. If you're someone that's really trying to get wins in solo matches, I would definitely recommend avoiding hot drops. And in Season 8, I would define the main hot drop cities as Tilted, Retail, Salty, and maybe Dusty Divot as well. The main reason why I would generally avoid dropping in those cities in solo matches is because the RNG at the beginning of games is pretty much at an all-time high in Fortnite right now. Luckily, it's a little better than it was even a few days ago because the white infantry rifle got removed from the game, but it's still pretty bad as a whole. In these hot drop cities, a lot of the time, you're not even going to get a single house to yourself. You'll maybe get a floor. And those times you only get a floor or two to yourself, you're pretty much risking your life on one chest and maybe 3 to 4 potential weapon spawns. I don't care how good of a Fortnite player you are, there are just too many really bad weapons in the game right now to constantly survive the very beginning of games. What are you supposed to do if your single house or 2 to 3 floors of a large building gives you a green infantry rifle, scoped AR, and clinger grenades? Or how about a white pistol, infantry rifle, and a campfire? Plus, what makes the situation even worse is the way shotguns are currently balanced right now in Fortnite. Even if you do get relatively lucky with your loot, let's just say you get a green heavy AR, white SMG, and even some mini shields, definitely a solid beginning of game loadout that's at least decent at close and medium range. But if the guy that lands on the floor below you gets just a single weapon, but that weapon turns out to be a blue pump shotgun, you're still in all likelihood gonna lose that fight. Since the vast majority of fights in hot drop towns like Retail and Tilted are super close range and inside of buildings, the pump shotgun is absolutely key to being successful. For the first 2 to 3 minutes of a game where the majority of players are going to be at 100 health, you can one-shot body shot any of those players if you get a blue or higher rarity pump shotgun. So the moral of all this is, even if you're a pro-level player, you can run into a really bad player that simply gets way better RNG off the rip. And if that happens, there's not much you can really do about it. So let me share with you guys some more low-key type landing spots that should guarantee you a nice start in your solo matches. These are some of the landing spots that I and a bunch of other really good Fortnite players use in the competitive solo events, where winning and placing high is super important. Soccer field is probably my favorite spot for a variety of different reasons. You probably won't be contested, the loot is really solid, you can easily farm wood, brick, and metal, and on top of all that, there's also 2 vending machines, which is important to note after the rework they got, which now basically means that they give you free loot. Factories by Loot Lake is another nice option that's really central to the map, has a low chance of being contested, and much like Soccer Field, also has 2 vending machines. Plus, the general area surrounding Paradise Palms is a nice option as well. There are 4 vending machines in the actual town, and the area nearby known as Westworld is pretty famous for being an awesome landing spot as well. Now let's move on to talking about the middle and end of a solo match. In my opinion, the middle and end of solo matches has changed pretty dramatically over the past month or so. And the biggest reason for that is because of the health and materials per kill change that we got on Valentine's Day. What you're seeing is that now, the best players in the lobby are consistently surviving longer than ever before. Although a few of them will almost certainly get picked off at the very beginning because they get awful loot, the ones that manage to get an early kill or two will basically be set up for success. That's why if you're just an average-ish player that's main goal is to get a win, you don't want to just take every single fight you see, and there's a few reasons why. Even though third partying is a lot less prevalent now than it was in Season 7, mainly because of the removal of planes, it's still definitely a major factor. The way most people play solos now is just chilling near the middle of the map listening for any kind of gunfire. And then once they hear it, they'll sprint, drive, or launch directly towards it. What you'll even see now is that you'll be the one third-partying a 1v1 fight thinking it's a super smart play, and then even if you do end up getting a kill, you'll immediately get third-partied by somebody else after. And also, even if you do win a fight and don't get third-party directly after, it can still be a negative overall encounter. Let's just say you start a fight against an enemy and you have 200 health, 6 mini shields, and 1500 materials. The enemy ends up actually being pretty good, it results in a pretty long build fight, you guys go back and forth trading damage, but you eventually do get the kill. Awesome, you got a kill, but now you look down at your inventory as you're walking away, and now in this hypothetical situation, you only have 150 health, only 3 minis, and only 600 materials. So it's definitely cool that you got a kill, and maybe there were 30-ish people left, so you eliminated about 3% of the remaining enemies, but I think it's fair to say that your chance of winning the game actually went down due to that fight, even though you got the kill. Out of all the times in a solo match, middle game kills are easily the least important. Kills at the very beginning are really important because they set you up for the rest of the game, and kills at the end are really important because you're eliminating a high percentage of the remaining enemies. Speaking of the end of solo matches, let's spend the rest of this video talking about it. With really good players being more likely to survive until the end of games, it makes the end of public match solos feel a lot like the end of ranked mode solos. I remember a few seasons ago, you would pretty much never have a game last until the final few circles, but now it happens all the time. So much like in competitive Fortnite, mobility is absolutely key in the moving endgame circles. Rift to goes are the best, launch pads are also really good, and gliders are somewhat decent, but good players will beam you out of the air because you glide so slowly. When you have any of those 3 mobility items, and specifically the first 2, it gives you the option to rotate late while everybody else is forced to rotate early to stay in front of the storm. That's something you'll see all the time at the highest level of competitive play. Someone will be in a 1x1 box, and right as the storm is about to hit them, they'll activate the Rift to go or jump on the launch pad and get out right in time. Plus, if you choose to rotate early with those forms of mobility, you're in all likelihood going to be the first one to the new zone, so then you can set up on either natural or built high ground and get damage on the players who are rotating on foot. Another really important aspect of endgame, especially in Season 8, is turtling. Obviously, turtling has always been a staple of the end of games in Fortnite, but it's stronger than ever now due to some recent changes to the game. The most notable change is the nerf to structure damage of the deagle, and also the rarity increases to the RPGs. Those 2 weapons were probably the best counters to players turtling inside of a 1x1, and you barely see players using either of them anymore. Turtling is also especially strong in solos because a max of only 1 player is going to be shooting at your 1x1 at a time. Especially if you're someone with a really low ping, you can basically keep any enemies from getting inside of your box until you literally run out of materials. And odds are, by the time that happens, all their gunfire will attract a third partier to save you. So endgame and solo matches is really all about rotating in a smart way while staying safe once you're actually inside of the zone. If you can do that and look for opportunities to pick off players that aren't doing that, then you'll be in really good shape. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. This video is about how to win a solo match in Fortnite Season 8, so I want to know, have you guys won a solo yet this season? And if so, how many of you won? Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.